Hey, what's happening, y'all? It's me coming back at you again with another vid. Well, I'm not going to get into the post-fight thoughts on Tyson Fury versus Tom Schwarz because the fight only lasted 2 rounds and it went exactly as I predicted and everyone else predicted. So there's no time. There's no time. There's nothing worth for me to mention anything about the fight other than the fact that it was a great showcase performance for Fury. I may say at best, because there's definitely something that he needed to appeal to the American casuals. Obviously, even though Tom Schwarz is not a great fighter, we all know that. He's not a great heavyweight. But the way ESPN and Top Rank is going to promote Fury, they're going to promote him as the heavyweight version of Conor McGregor in boxing. Let's be honest, that's exactly what they're going for. That's what they're angling for, because he's a loudmouth, he's a trash talker. He has, he shows so much contempt for his opponents, whatnot, and he's very cerebral and very, very cynical in many ways too. So, but needless to say, though, I'll get into those other thoughts in another separate video. But I want to talk about the purses that were paid out for both fighters here. Now, Tom Schwarz got $250,000, which some of you may not know what that means. That's $250,000, which is his highest payday of his career. So he'll probably be eating off that one for a little while. We won't. I don't expect him to come back fighting again on the heavyweight scene anytime soon. But if he does come back, he'll definitely be fighting in the regional, on a regional level, fight back in Germany. So which he will take his time as slowly as he can, and then he'll decide to come back on world level. So, and obviously, what we saw that night on Saturday night, he was clearly not ready for world level. But needless to say, that's what he got. But Tyson Fury, of all people, now his guaranteed purse is $1 million, right? That was his guaranteed purse. But according to a report on MMAmania.com, he's expected to get $12.5 million. So if you include the $1 million guarantee plus the upside in the back end that he's getting for the fight, and mind you, this was not a pay-per-view fight, by the way. Well, actually, you know what? Well, this is US dollars, by the way. So this was not a pay-per-view fight here in the United States, but it was a pay-per-view fight back in the UK. So I guess that's where the upside is coming from. But he's getting $12.5 million, and I have to repeat, $12.5 million. He is getting the exact same amount of dollars that Wilder got for his fight against Dominic Breazeale. And yet, Wilder fought, even though Wilder destroyed Dominic Breazeale in the first round, which, even though I didn't really see that coming in a way, I knew Wilder was going to beat him, but I didn't expect him to end it like that. In what, 90 seconds, 60 seconds, whatever, whatever the case may be. But Wilder fought a much better opponent than than Tyson Fury when he fought Tom Schwarz. Let's be real, okay? Now, I'm not saying that Dominic Breazeale was a great fighter. No, he is not a great heavyweight. But if you look at Dominic Breazeale's record, he had a way better amateur record than Tom Schwarz. He's beaten better opposition on a world level than Tom Schwarz. Name Amir Mansour, Eric Molina, and Israel Gano. I mean, come on, man. I mean, seriously. In fact, Wilder didn't even fight on the goddamn pay-per-view, and he got almost the same amount of money as Fury got. But needless to say, though, but I just wanted to throw that out there. I mean, literally, Fury can really fight a bunch of nobodies and still get paid 7 figures. I mean, a high 7-figure payday. He can literally do that now. And to be fair, Wilder can essentially do the same thing too. So, and Joshua, well, it depends on if he can come back against Andrew Ruiz. Yes, that's yet to be seen. However, I do expect him to make, probably no less than $20 million if, once the rematch does become rectified, whatnot. But it is what it is. So, anyways, let me know what you guys thoughts about this. I'll post a link to the article. And the one thing I do have to say, though, is that these this is the one thing I have stressed out about for a very long time, that these fighters are getting a ridiculous amount of money for fighting a bunch of tomato cans. That is very sickening to me, and I get very upset about that, all right? And this is the one thing I accuse PBC for doing, Al Heyman. I got high regard and respect for Al Heyman, but I really came after him a few years ago for overpaying fighters for fighting low-level opposition. That, ridiculous amount of money for fighting low-level opposition, okay? In a situation like that, when you put them in a situation like that, or they become subjected to it, they will not have the hunger to fight the best. They want to have this whole narrative. They want to live off this narrative and say, you know what? I made it. I'm a decent draw. I don't need to be fighting dangerous opposition. I can still fight a bum and still get more money out of it. So that's just the whole mentality that comes into play. And this is the reason why I say that maybe we should go, hopefully some of these promoters have this Don King mentality. And now I'm not saying that you need to mistreat your fighters. Let's not misconstrue what I said. I'm saying that if you want the high earned dollars, you got to fight the best. Plain and simple. You have to fight the best. But look, again, I understand why Top Rank did what they did, because they need to get Fury out there and showcase him in front of the American casuals. They didn't want to put him in there against a dangerous opponent as of yet. So, but at the same time, let's just not glorify the win. It was a farcical, let's be real. It was. But I'm not mad at Fury though. But I'm just saying, though, I'm very surprised, I'm very shocked at the fact that I'm not too shocked, but he got $12.5 million for fighting Tyson Schwarz. A nobody. Wow. Anyway, let me know what your thoughts about this, guys. I'm out. Peace.